Hey, welcome to Earthy Goddess Mama. It is the 13th of June. It's a Wednesday, 2018, and I'm here for your daily energy reading. I apologize for the lateness today. Had a kind of filled up day today. Very social, playful kind of a day today. Lots of talking, communicating. Sun's in Gemini, the moon's moved into Gemini. So yeah, it's kind of that scattered kind of lots of talking, lots of connecting kind of a day. My name's Kathy. If this is your first time viewing one of my daily readings, welcome. This is a completely general reading. We're just sort of feeling into the energies of the day. And yeah, it's for no particular astrological sign, but if you've been guided here today, yeah, there may be a message here for you. So welcome. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I am super duper grateful to have you here. I love doing this. I love connecting with you all. Yeah, I've put up the first, I think 6, I've done 8 now, 8 love readings up on YouTube for June. I know they're a little late, but you know, it'll be the perfect timing when you see it. It always is. So let's just tap into the astrological energies around at the moment. Then I've got the Osho Zen Tarot to just see what the Tarot wants to tell us about today. And I also have the Journey of Love Oracle. So right now the moon has gone into Gemini, but it's not the new moon yet. We're in the balsamic moon, which is the phase of the moon where it's waning, and it's the halfway point between the last quarter and the new moon. So if you're looking at the cycle of the plant, this is when the plant is dying away, and it's the maturation of the seed. So the seed is starting to develop. So we're sort of going inward somewhat and shedding things from the past. We're letting things die away. It's the perfect time. On the dark moon tonight, we get the new moon tomorrow morning, and I'll put up the new moon in Gemini reading. You know, the northern hemisphere, the new moon is on the 13th, but not so here in Australia. So right tonight, you know, before on this dark moon, on this last phase of this waning moon, it's a perfect time to really sit with yourself, reflect, go inward, and really feel into what you want to let go of before you come in and plant your new seeds of intention for the new moon in Gemini, the new month ahead, the new lunar month ahead. So, and today, so it's perfect to do that. You write it all down, burn it, however it works for you. When I have my women's circles, we sort of come together and we talk about things that are going on with us over the last cycle of the moon, and then we write down everything we want to let go of that we don't want to take into the new cycle. We burn it. We let it go, whatever feels right for you, and then we make new intentions and read them out on the new moon. So yeah, I do it every month. It's a beautiful ritual to just plan intentions. Yeah, it just gives you a clear focus and really allows, you know, when you put those clear intentions out, you know, it's the law of attraction. Yes. And you move towards them, you get inspired, inspiration, intuition to move forward with whatever you are feeling like you are inspired to do. Because the veil's quite thin on the dark moon, the balsamic moon. So yeah, be receptive, be open to whatever messages are coming through for you. So we have the moon squaring Neptune. Neptune's in Pisces, moon in Gemini. There's a conflict today between emotion and idealism. So there's a lot of sensitivity around. So you might be feeling, yeah, you're getting all this information from others, and you might be really feeling and being very sensitive of others and really feeling intuitively what's going on for them, even though they might be communicating something completely different. So you really, yeah, your intuition's really heightened today. I definitely felt this today, interacting with a friend who's organizing her wedding, and those just, you know, those feelings of anxiousness and fear, I could feel them in my belly as I was speaking to her, and you know, she was open to really, yeah, to really communicating what was going on, and it was a really beautiful space to be, to really tune in with her emotion on a real sensitive, communicative level, because you know, with the sun in Gemini and the moon in Gemini, communication, we've really got to remember to listen to others today. Communication's light and bright, but having this deep connection, this intuitive sensitivity where you can feel others' emotions, but you have the ability to express that in a light-hearted way. Although, in saying that, there's another aspect that, you know, with Mercury having a strong sextile with Uranus, there could be a little bit of forcefulness in the way communication comes across as well. So there's a tendency to be both, you know, to both, because you might really have this strong idealism, spiritual idealism, and you really want to express that in your own unique way, and it might come across forcefully where it wasn't intended that way. But with this Mercury having the strong sextile with Uranus, there's also, you know, the ability to communicate genius, like amazing genius quality could come into your communication today if you're channeling this energy properly. So again, like yesterday, Chiron, Mercury squared Chiron, so that there's that enhanced ability to really uncover hidden concerns that have remained unconscious and communicate them today. So feeling into that deep emotion and that sensitive awareness, like intuitively, you might pick up on other people's wounds, and but it's just having that ability to compassionately communicate that today, or just hold space for them to allow them to come to that space of inner knowing. So yeah, patterns of behavior with that Chiron and Mercury aspect, the patterns of behavior can become more conscious, and then healing and acceptance can spring forth. So we can either, so your deeper issues can drive you today, or until you learn to drive them through healing and acceptance. Venus is squaring Uranus as well, so that again, there's all those jolts of excitement. There might be magnetic attractions going on. I'm really wanting to flirt and be really social, so wanting freedom and liberation, maybe from relationships. Although Venus is still in Cancer, but Uranus is that sort of, you know, unpredictable kind of energy, and with the flirtatious energy of Gemini, a lot of chatting and playfulness, you know, flirting and connecting with others, there could be that feeling of wanting to just sort of kind of feel into that, you know, love, unity feeling, and not being bound to one relationship today. There could be that sort of energy around, you know, but Venus in Cancer is very nurturing as well. So, but there is a square, so that's around today. Jupiter, the planet of expansion, has got a strong trine with Neptune. Neptune's all about inspiration, faith, you know, imagination. So there's an extraordinary dose of creative energy. So anyone working on anything artistic, you know, it's a really amazing day for that, because you know, there's enhanced imagination energies around, and that spiritual knowing that sort of permeates the year as well, and especially with the moon squared Neptune. So there's that real thin veil of intuitive, deep spiritual knowing, but also that compassion, that compassionate energy that helps bring people closer together by the way you're choosing to communicate. But then there's also that, you know, that Mercury with its strong sextile in Uranus. So it's kind of a scattered energy. Maybe one minute you'll be forceful, next minute you'll be all soft and compassionate and listening and holding space. So flow with it. Just flow with it, and we'll just see what's coming up today with the Osho Zen Tarot with regard to energies on this 13th of June, Wednesday, 2018. Yeah, okay. So this is the Chiron, the wounds. This is the Chiron energy. And this is the Mercury squared Chiron energy. So Mercury's in Gemini. Because this is air energy, this is the night of clouds. So this is communicating your fast, like, communication that comes out of a wound, out of a pain. Something's communicated without even really thinking about it. This is not compassionate communication. This is painful stuff. This is armoring up and fighting. So this is the wounds driving you, not you driving those, you know, wounds. So not allowing those wounds to be healed and accepted and allow them to be integrated as part of your whole self. Because a lot of the time our wounds, our traumas become, you know, our gifts. Yeah, you know, people that have been abused as children, you know, become healers of children. But this energy is not allowing the wounds to heal. It's hardening your heart and angry words to protect yourself. It's very egoic. It's very protective. It's, yeah, it's communicating in a very, very forceful way because of unconscious patterns and unhealed wounds. His eyes are red, so he's seeing his life through eyes of anger. He's not liking what he sees in his life. And if you can see the fighting up there, that's the fighting inside his head. You know, it's air energy. And then we have water. This is a Neptunian, Piscean, Venus in Cancer kind of energy here. To soften this. To soften. This is compassion. This is gentleness and sweetness. This is understanding we're always free, that we can choose between these. We can have the bars and the armor all around us, or we can realize they're an illusion and that we're always free. We're free to perceive our lives any way we want to, regardless of what's gone on, even 5 minutes before. These wounds need to be healed first. They need to be illuminated. You can keep trying to squash them down and keep trying to have that mask on that everything's okay. But they come out in unconscious ways through verbal diarrhea, being really forceful, like rage. This is rage, yeah? This is unhealed traumas and maybe lifetimes of unhealed pain that comes out firstly in your head and thinking, and then through the way you communicate. But we're always free. The bars are an illusion. The other birds know. They're saying, come on, come out here. It's beautiful out here. You don't have to be stuck behind those bars. They're an illusion. Move with sweetness and gentleness right now. Really be mindful of your speech and the way you communicate. Do some throat chakra work. I know I have been, because, you know, just touching on my own story, I was brought up in an environment where we needed to be kind of forceful in the way we communicated if we wanted to be heard. But it doesn't serve you. We really need to learn to listen and to understand others. Come from a place of understanding, not always needing to be understood. A beautiful line to say to people a lot to stop ego battles and fighting is, yeah, maybe you're right. Not in a passive aggressive sarcastic way. It's just like, yeah, maybe you are right. Softening, gently communicating, tapping into your heart space and seeing things through the eyes of love. These are opposing energies here. Venus in Cancer, Neptune in Pisces, and this is the Chiron square Mercury, the wound, communicating the wound unconsciously. Yeah, because it's coming up Uranus and Taurus here. Because of that, that Mercury in Gemini, and that strong sextile to Uranus and Taurus. Taurus is Earth. We can feel like an outsider sometimes, because we have ideas that don't fit the mold. You know, we might have these visionary ideals, but people might think we're crazy. You know, so we might feel like an outsider because we think and communicate differently. But again, those bars are an illusion. That gate's unlocked. Everything is about our perception. And if we have any unhealed wounds about not being accepted or not truly accepting ourselves, then we will see that mirrored back to us. If we don't accept ourselves, how can we expect others to accept us? This is the wounded child, yeah? Again, it's unhealed wounds, lack of love, the scarcity. It's feeling like an outsider because of who we truly are. I'm hearing, get yourself grounded today. Yeah, you might have, you know, there's with all this sensitive Piscean, Neptunian, squaring Gemini, Moon in Gemini, with this heightened sensitivity, there can be the tendency to escape back into old patterns, to be extremely sensitive to not being accepted by others. But it's all our own wounds. It's all our own stuff. We're attracting those people to us to show us what needs to be released before this new moon. What's coming up for you today? What needs to die away? The scarcity thinking? These wounds? Are you going to allow these? Are you going to sit with the pain of these wounds? Are you going to allow them to be brought forth so you can shed them? So they can be released, so you can take off all that heaviness, so you can drop the heaviness? Who wants this heaviness? Who wants this, this conflict, this constant conflict going on in your minds? You can fly free. We can all be free. Scarcity and lack is just an illusion. Being locked out. How are you locking yourself out from your own self-acceptance, from your own love, from your own compassion? because this is you. This is all of us. This is the King of Earth, the King of Rainbows, the King of Pentacles. He's mastered what it means to be a physical, a spiritual being having this physical experience, yeah? He's whole, generous, abundant. He knows the earth supports him fully. Grounded, all his physical needs met, healthy body, you know, somewhere to live, just so much color and sensuality and joy and connection with nature and the earth in his life. But also he's very generous, very stable, very grounded. You know what? He loses all of these things, these physical manifestations. He knows how connected he is with the earth, that he knows he is the magic in his life. That this energy is an illusion. It's just a belief we keep telling ourselves that we're not enough, we don't deserve it, we're an outsider, we don't accept ourselves, so how do we expect others to accept us? When in reality, there's abundance for all. Ground yourself today. Get yourself out of this. Like, sit out on the grass. Take your shoes off for a little bit if you can. Find any little bit of earth. See what comes up. Sit quietly with Mama Gaia today and come to a new understanding of yourself, that these bars and these gates are just an illusion. You're an abundant spiritual being having this physical experience. No attachment though. No attachment, no grasping, no clinging. Excuse me. No grasping, no clinging. Just a deep connection with the divine spirit. He's whole, he's spiritual, and he is whole in the sense that he's a deeply spiritual being, understanding that he's having a physical experience for a reason, to enjoy life. It's nothing too serious going on here. It's all to do with how we feel about ourselves and how much acceptance and love we have for ourselves. How much of these wounds we've healed, how many of these wounds we've actually healed, or are we taking all that old lack mentality with us, you know, that suffering mentality, that struggle for everything you get mentality? Are we taking that conditioning? Are we bringing that conditioning with us into this new cycle, or are we going to shed it? Wow, my friend chose this today, so it's definite energy around today. Wow, she chose one card and this is the card she chose. Loving all that is, and it's 22, the master number of the builder. You wise, awakening being. You can love all that is. You can love your tears and your sadness, for they are a testament to your open heart. You can love your numbness, your fatigue, for they show that you've worked hard and are now in need of rest. You can love your energy and passion, even when you're so far ahead of the pack that you have to wait a while for everyone else to catch up. Maybe a day, maybe a decade or so, because you chose not to curb your enthusiasm for anyone. You can love your anger because underneath its fire is a desire for respect. And you can love your peacefulness because within your heart, you really don't care much for fighting sometimes. There is something that is shaming you, worrying you, challenging you. It's okay to just love it. It will make sense when it needs to. Oopsie, lost the page. It'll make sense when it needs to. Until then, just love it, even when it hurts, for it is part of your own divine nature awakening. It may just be like a painful cramp happening because it's been curled up for too long. This oracle brings you a sweet message. You are just asked to love. Everything else will take care of itself. A state of being, allowing, receiving, becoming one with all that is. Whatever wants to be illuminated and come forth today, allow it. Allow the unconscious to become conscious. Come to this new level of understanding for yourself. Muzzy. Allow yourself to receive. Step away from these limited feelings of lack and scarcity, of being an outsider. Be that visionary today. Embrace that genius energy of Mercury in a strong sextile with Uranus. Be who you truly are. Accept yourself and love yourself unconditionally today. Love, just love. Muzzy just wants to love me too by biting me on my nose. Anyway, have an amazing rest of the day. It's kind of getting on to evening here, but yeah, just love. Yeah, big love, deep blessings. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.